Hello. Among the many things I've had in my pockets for the last 4 days, including an iPhone and a wallet and car keys and all the other stuff, I've had this. A pager. But it's not an ordinary pager, it's a pager for that. An RNLI Severn Class lifeboat. Let's go and have a look. For the past 4 days, I've been here in Falmouth with the lifeboat crew, just getting a feel for what goes into running a lifeboat station. I've been on call night and day for the last 4 days, hence the pager. My session with the lifeboat crew started with a training exercise, and what a day to start it on. We had forecasts of gales, and outside when we went out it was already blowing 30 knots, gusting, getting close to 50. Into the exercise we saw gusts well in excess of 50 knots. Now, this is a 42-ton boat. It's got two 1250 horsepower engines, a total output of 2,500 brake horsepower. And being on board this, when you're going upwind at 20, 21 knots into a 2, maybe a little bit more meter sea in 50 knots of breeze, that is quite an experience. So the exercise involved all kinds of different aspects, among them launching the Y-boat from the top, navigational exercises, RF exercises, and 3 man overboard exercises, which were very interesting indeed. But what about the boat? Well, we're on board. Let's take a look. The first area that you come into in the deckhouse is the medical area. These 2 berths here can form 2 stretcher berths for casualties, or they can be used to accommodate 4 casualties in this area. Moving forwards, the engineer sits here, monitors the engines and the systems, but he's also responsible for the communications. Up front there's a line of 3. This is the helmsman's position on port. The coxswain sits amidship and directs operations. And to starboard we've got the navigator, who has a radar here, chart plotter, various other GPSs and chart plotters, and actually the control unit for this chart plotter is over here, plus of course a paper chart. And then the final 2 places are here behind the helmsman. Interestingly, it's sort of almost a sign of the times that one of the duties from this seat is to actually drive the video camera that's up on deck. So that's the wheelhouse. Let's take a look down below. Down below is the main survivor area where there's seating for 12 people. In fact, Severn Class lifeboats are actually rated to take 144 casualties, not all down below though. This is the fore cabin of the boat, where there is a scrambling net, crash helmets, oil skins, stretcher, spare oil and other various safety and spare items. And now to the engine room. Here we are at the heart of the Severn Class lifeboat. Twin 1275 Caterpillar diesel engines, over 2,500 brake horsepower. And what strikes me about it is how straightforward these engines are and how straightforward the engineering is. But I guess that's what you need when you're dealing with a boat that has to have the reliability that a lifeboat does. She's certainly an impressive vessel, one of over 400 that the RNLI operate, which account for over 8,000 launches a year. But perhaps more impressive is the commitment of the crew. Some of the stories they told me just blew me away. To find out more about what it takes to be a lifeboat person and my spell with the RNLI, check out the June issue of Yachting World.